Everglory now has ships. Everglory now has docks. Everglory now has flying transport ships. Everglory now has transport and garrison mechanics. There's been quite a few changes and improvements since my last devlog, and all the juicy details are up ahead. Stay tuned.
Title that I hold is what everyone wants, but still I play the game like I never won once. It's 11, you know 1-1. In every generation I do what I've done. To the people, I'm a hero unsung. Good thing I don't want fame, I want funds. But if they say my name, the bell rung. I've been through so much pain, I feel numb. A marathon, my nigga, I'm on one for as long as the Lord pump air through these lungs.
So first things first, let's take a moment to appreciate some of these new models, some of these new graphics. So this here is floating Slavic city. Right now it's just a generic boat unit, but I have some interesting ideas to turn this into a unique kind of water mega unit. This is a traditional Slavic boat. You can transport units over water, you can transport resources from one dock to another, and it's also a combat unit. This is the dock, which has to be built adjacent to water, and this is a flying Slavic boat, a sky ship, and it's an air transport, basically like the blimp in Warcraft 3. So in order to get units to move over water or over air, essentially the way I tackled that problem is to have like 3 separate maps from the point of view of the navigation system, and we can take a look, sorry, not here, but right here. So this is how land units see the map. You know, the ground is paddable, the shallow water is paddable, and the deep water is not paddable. This is how water units see the map. So as you can see, the shallow water is paddable by both land and water units, and the land is not paddable. And finally, the air units, they see the whole map as being paddable. Next, I want to show off these new garrison mechanics. So now certain units can enter certain buildings. In the future I can do some more with this, like for example increase the attack of the tower when there's units garrisoned inside of it. When I evict the units from a garrison, they come out slowly one by one. I think it's quite neat. Units can also go inside of a boat, and I can give the boat an order to evict them on this island right here. Notice that there is some intelligence to how the transport operates. So for example, I give it a command to evict the garrison right here. It will first come as close as possible, and then it will evict the units, and after the units will go to their final location. So my goal was to make it kind of easy to use, not requiring too much micro. And there's a few more moments, like if the boat is not reachable, it will come to the shore and they will rendezvous with the peasants. Similarly with the airship, it can be used to take units absolutely anywhere on the map, such as this little island right here. And in order to build these new ship units, we need a dock building. The dock has to be built adjacent on water, but adjacent to the shoreline. So for example right here, it cannot be built just on land, just on water. It has to be adjacent. And in some prior videos I talked about some unique mechanics of Everglory, basically logistics management and supply chain management mechanics. So resources are not stored in a global pool, but rather they are distributed at local storage sites. And in order to be utilized, they have to be brought to a certain location. For example, to build a ship at the docks, I have to have 150 wood at these docks right here. In order to build this dock right here, I have to bring 200 wood to the build site of the dock. There's two ways to do that when we are building off the mainland on an island. One option is to just have the units gather, chop the lumber right here, and bring it to this build site. Another way is, one second. So sorry guys, my video got corrupted, and to get back to it, the second way to supply this offshore build site is to use a boat to supply it from the mainland dock. And I really think that the presence of water really synergizes well with these resource transportation and logistics management mechanics. One reason is that all water can become a transport highway. The second reason, it forces you to kind of plan out and manage any offshore bases. And offshore bases or colonies, they have their own resource pool. So whatever happens in the mainland, whatever production you have going on here, it doesn't impact this little colony right here. Another reason, like we have gold and it's just on this island right here. So that makes this gold a very tricky resource to make use of. So in order to use the gold to make powerful units, we have to either have a barracks here and then ferry the units to the mainland, or I think simpler would be to have these peasants gather the gold here, bring it to the dock, then have this boat bring the gold from this dock to the mainland dock. In the mainland, have a transport cart or a few peasants bring the gold from the dock to the barracks, and only then can we use this elusive gold. So I think it's a quite interesting puzzle to overcome, and especially the best would be to have everything going on automatically. Have the gold gathered at just the right speed that matches the transport rate of 1 or 2 boats. Have some transport carts doing all this automatically, and so on. And going forward, this is the final thing I want to do before I consider the game to be mechanics complete. It's to flesh out these transportation mechanics a little more, polish it up, add a few quality of life things like garrison points, a greater degree of configuration and automation for workers and transporters. And at that point, I will consider the game to be mechanics complete. I will be ready to release a new demo with a lot more content, a lot more improvements since my last demo. And even at this point, I'm quite happy with where the game is at, especially since I added the water units. I feel like, this game is already has more than 90s RTSs like Age of Empires 1, and there's still a lot of potential for growth. Thank you guys for watching another episode of the Devlog. There's going to be undoubtedly more content coming soon. Like, subscribe, wishlist the game on Steam. And by the way, the game now has a website. Check it out, everglory.game. That's www.everglory.game. That's it. Peace. I'll see you guys in the next one.
And I am the realization of the dream of this motherfucking nation. Come on, recover your power, you be patient. Come up first, that's the order of operation. Broke nigga, hope you hear what I'm saying.